Welcome back to MMA Oddsbreaker. We're talking to World Series of Fighting Championship. Headliner Nick LoBosco getting ready to fight Lance Palmer. It's going to be an interesting matchup. Nick, this is the first time you and I have talked. We haven't really talked. We texted a little bit. We've never really spoken per se any other time. So, what's it like now being in the World Series of Fighting, and how is it different? You know, obviously this is your second fight in. I'm not saying that, but how is World Series of Fighting different from the other fight organizations you fought in?
The obvious, the level of competition, and the level of exposure you receive. People backing you and things like that. There's just more to it.
Have you seen a big in swing of money coming in? Relatively speaking, I mean, we're not talking millions of dollars, but now all of a sudden
As far as like jumping from a local or like a regional circuit, there's a definite jump in money. Like I said, we're not talking millions of dollars, but we're a considerable amount more than the local circuit. Yes.
When you were in Fight Hard MMA and now you're World Series of Fighting, and that's a big jump. Coming up pay wise from the organization. What about sponsor wise? Have the sponsors come out of pocket a little bit more for you as well?
They're starting to. Definitely. This fight will be on NBC Sports. Be live on NBC Sports. So easier to talk to, and it's definitely easier to like present yourself as a product as before, where it's there's not as much exposure. So it's advertising dollars are better spent coming from a company that's looking to spend those dollars. It means more to them, and it makes more sense to do it in this area.
Does all of that add more pressure to you and add more pressure to your training because of all this extra that's going on?
I don't think so. To be honest, I think it makes it more exciting because I have more. You have more time and you have more resources behind you. Like just for instance, I have someone that's working with me on my meals. So I get breakfast, lunch, and dinner that's sent to me, and it's all the best of the best. Local, grown, organic, all of it. So it's Perfect. To me, it's better because I get to put better things into my training. So even though the dollar amount might be more at this time, you just get to put better things into your training. More time, better supplements, better trainers, all that stuff. So I'm excited for it.
Well, your fight will be here in Las Vegas, Nevada, June 21st on World Series of Fighting 10. So if in town can make it. Let's talk about Lance Palmer. Lance is actually here right now in Vegas. It's Memorial Day weekend. He's out here courting some of his other teammates. He comes from a very highly touted camp in Alpha Male, Team Alpha Male, of course, headed by Uriah Faber. How does all of that big mix, play into your training camp and how you see him as a competitor as you get ready for this fight?
As a competitor, he's training with tough guys, and that he's going to bring it. His whole team brings it. They're exciting fighters. They have some of the top lighter guys in the world, and they have for many years. So that they're well prepared, and they're going to bring it. But like Fabio was from a big camp. I don't really worry about that. I do what I do. I worry about my training, and that's all I can worry about.
Yeah, at the end of the day.
You're right, though.
Are you a guy that looks at tape and tries to figure out the nuances and figure out what they're doing? Or are you a guy that just worries about your game, kind of has a small game plan off of what he does?
I glance at tape. It would be a lie to say I never look at tape. And you'd be, I think, in my mind, a fool to not look at tape at all. But I don't beat myself up about it. I'm not gonna sit there and stare at it over and over and over and just drive myself crazy. I'm gonna look at it and I'm gonna, build a game plan off it and that. And my coaches are gonna do the same. But I'm not gonna. I gotta worry about what I'm doing. And in the same sense, his last fight is his last fight. That's not his current fight. So whatever he did before, that could very well change. He could come out in a different stance. He could come out, doing completely different things. So you don't know, but it gives you a good idea of what he's good at and what he does, and I go from there.
You look at how he wins. He's not KOing guys. He's just either decisioning him or he's submitting him. You're submitting them. Do you look at that and go, that's kind of how the game is going to go? You take a little bit of heat off of his striking and just worry about his wrestling a little bit more. It's a fight, so you have to worry about everything. But you pull back a little bit, knowing he doesn't have the power to knock anybody out, or are you worrying about, hey, I don't be that first guy he knocks out? Like, how do you approach it?
I think I think he has the power to knock somebody out. It's just a matter of hitting that button yet. You know what I mean? He's obviously a very strong wrestler. You know, if someone has that strength, it's just a matter of time before they do knock someone out. It doesn't, you know. So I'm trying not to get hit. That's the name of the game. Hit him and don't get hit. So I look at that. You know, obviously he's a good wrestler, and I keep that in mind.
And last question before I get you off here. Have you been to Las Vegas before?
Yeah, few times.
Is there going to be a distraction when you're out here for that week, trying to living in a big casino, trying to cut weight in a big casino, even though you have great spas, what have you? Is that going to be any kind of a distraction towards you trying to make weight and get ready for the fight?
No, not me, man. I'm one of those guys. I don't really care what's going on. I mean, I got to do my job as far as like, you know, interviews and shaking hands and things like that. But at the end of the day, man, I do me. I'm there to work, and I'm not here. I'm not there to have fun. Now, my work is fun to me, but I'm there to work. I'm not there to party. You know, we'll party afterwards. But you know, the family and friends get to enjoy the benefits of it. You know, they get to go out and they'll be tweeting pictures from the casinos and stuff like that. But no, I don't really care. I stay in my hotel room for the most part.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Nick's getting ready to fight. Lance Palmer coming up here. World Series of Fighting can be seen on NBC Sports here in Las Vegas, Nevada, at the Hard Rock Hotel Casino. Good luck, Nick. We'll talk to you soon, bud.
Thank you. All right, see ya.